Good. Come on, sing it with me. Good morning. Good morning. It's time to start our day. Good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, so looks like we're going to be doing some neck and some shoulders. So let's head on over to the mat. I'm going to just double check that my correct microphone is on, which it is. Oh, I love how it's been working so nicely. Okay, so make your way to the mat. And let us just take a moment to pause here. Just a little bit of moving to kind of find your way to your stillness. And as we were saying before we started class, one of the women was saying it's like even knowing correct posture, even like knowing about it, we sometimes have this creepy, right? We sometimes start to slump and drop our head. And so sometimes awareness isn't enough. So having a practice where we can sort of clean out those gears. All right, sitting up nice and tall, finding your stillness now. Imagine that you're actually leaning against a wall. And if you have a wall nearby, maybe you'll even lean against it, finding the base of the head on the wall, the left shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade. Bringing our attention to the pelvic floor. Is it facing towards your feet? Is it turning to the wall behind you? Can you find how to turn that pelvic floor directly down? And now for this first minute, let's turn back the page from the physical body and let's go look at that breath body, that energetic body. For this first minute of centering, please find your Samavriti, your equal inhale and your equal exhale. Ready? 1 minute. Watch yourself breathe. Beautiful. And on this next minute here, ask yourself what brings you to the mat. So we know this is part of your routine. This is part of what you do. You make some quality time with yourself here to check in, see how you're doing. What brings you to the mat specifically today? So for this next minute, we're simply going to say, what's going on with me today? What's going on in my physical body? What's going on in my emotional body? What's going on in my mind? Okay, so 1 minute, sort of stepping outside of yourself and just exploring from the outside looking in. What's going on today? How are you? Beautiful. And on this final minute here, so Eckhart Tolle talks about the pain body, and I've discussed it in classes here before, this idea that there's a pain body and we feed the pain body in certain ways. Sometimes we feed it with, feeling sad thoughts about the pain that we're feeling, or sometimes we feed the pain body by trying to numb away from it and ignore it, even though it's actually true. Sometimes we feed the pain body by feeding ourselves with chaos and terror about other things totally unrelated that causes us more and more creepiness and more pain. And so one of the things that yoga teaches us is this idea that I am not pain. I am not pain. This is being felt to my body, but I am not it. I'm not it. So how do we step outside of the pain body and sort of witness it? And what we talk about with Eckhart Tolle is that everybody feels pain all the time. Everybody feels pain all the time. And I think it was John Kabat-Zinn who talks about everybody feels pain all the time, but some of us feel it more intently than others, depending upon what's going on in our lives or what's going on in our physical bodies. But pain is always being felt because simply gravity, right? And the way the body's built. So for this last minute, I'd like you to challenge yourself. Perhaps you'll notice how you're feeding the pain body. You're stressing about other things, or you're, feeling really sad and despair that you're in pain, or you're trying to pretend it's not happening. Any one of those. Maybe that's what you'll do in this last minute. Or maybe you can sort of pretend that you're sitting again outside of yourself and you're looking at the pain as if you're a scientist watching someone else's pain, and you're just sort of deciphering what the pain rhythm is, where the pain is being felt, and come into more of a scientific brain. So whichever one you want to do for this last minute, as we start to explore the integrating of that body, mind, and spirit, rather than just being in one. Okay. All right. One last minute here on the pain body, on that outer sheath. See if we can access that bigger sheath, or that more real self, or that witness brain. And we'll spend one more minute here centering. And on these next couple of breaths here, as you're studying, as if you love this person so much, as if this person you're witnessing is one of your favorite people in the whole world, soothe the pain body with calm, loving breaths, with a visualization of a nice warm oil massage. Whatever feels like you are just noticing the reality of this body, but also coming at it in a way that is a little bit less clenched. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands into prayer, thumbs against our heart. And gently drop our head, open our eyes, see our fingertips. Remember the promise that you're making right here. This promise to yourself of what you're showing up for. And then gently release the hands down and gaze forward. Okay, I have some ideas of how we're going to target this area. So let's find our way to blocks being at the front of the mat, and we'll come down. One of the the biggest realizations I've had in my life that caused me the most pain was this idea that no matter how good I am at something, no matter how much I give it my all, it still may not work. And that like was like, right? Your best is not always good enough. Like doing all the right things is not always going to guarantee you anything. And that was a really, really hard lesson for me to learn, and perhaps you too. So what else are we going to do, right? We can't action our way through things. We have to sometimes just surrender. Okay, here we are. So we're going to find our Sphinx pose first. And if this feels too intense for you right off the bat, then go ahead and bring your forehead down. And write yourself a little love letter. Feel your body on the mat. Feel your legs spreading out, just dropping free. Maybe you'll drop your chin, or maybe you'll bring your forehead down. We're just going to see about the breath. Check in and see how you're breathing. Right here, right now. This physical body receiving my breathing body, actioning from my intellectual body, listening to the whispers of my wisdom body, walking my way into bliss body, like finding that place of peace, even inside the tornado. One more deep breath. And beautiful. We're going to come to our hands and knees. Coming into your hands and knees, finding the wrists directly under the shoulders or perhaps a little slightly forward. And we're going to do our cat-cows, but instead of tilting the pelvis, we're going to just focus on dropping the chest and floating it up. And dropping the chest and floating it up. So just pedaling through. And our practice right now is to notice, are the shoulder blades moving in a symmetrical way, or does one feel like it's moving more on the outside or closer to the shoulder? About 5 more times, just rolling, sinking, and lifting. In yoga philosophy, we talk about the shoulder, neck and shoulder tension is the weight of others. Go ahead and roll your shoulders the other way. Now, if you've been coming down and up, go up and down. And let's really bring our mind's attention to exhales. Let's see if we can let some of this stuff go. Exhale. 3 more. Okay, now slide those curled toes underneath, and we're going to come into broken toe. Some of you will not be able to stand from this position, and you can go to the way you would typically stand. For everyone else, look ma, no hands. We're just going to take one leg forward, keep those toes curled back, kaboom, bam, and bam, right up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our legs a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Okay, we're going to make our outside edges parallel. So there's a slight little internal rotation here, internal rotation through the inner thighs. Take our hands on the hips and feel this rim of the pelvis. Feeling nice and strong here, standing up nice and tall. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly, with a flat back, hug the pubic bone in. With a flat back, we're going to slide down 1 to the count of 6, 2, just halfway over, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 6, big inhale. Slight bend in the knees, exhale back up, 6, 5, forward, moving only with the flat back, please. So no rolling spines. Here, inhale. Hands on your thighs, bend your knees if you need to. 6, halfway, 5, 4, 3, long spine, 2, maybe a little tuck of the chin. Big inhale. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one, big inhale, pelvis is level, and 6, halfway, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, some of you will keep your hands on the shins. Some of you will grab your blocks. Some of you can come to the floor here with your fingers and still keep that flat back. You decide what's best. So we're halfway over. And I want us to feel the crown of the head moving one way and the thigh bones moving the opposite way. Staying here, we're going to drop the chin to the throat. Notice I said throat, not chest. So you're really trying to tuck that chin, Jalandhara Bandha. What's happening on the right side of the neck? What's happening on the left? Now, for those of you who are not using your blocks, go ahead and grab your blocks and bring yourself, you can release that chin lock. Bring your blocks to the height now so that you're really keeping yourself level. Again, if the knees need to bend, feel free to bend your knees. And from here, again, we're going to do these cat-cows. We're going to just move the upper chest, just sinking it down. We call that hanging on the arm bones and then floating it up. Sinking it down and then floating it up. Now, as you're doing this for about 8 more times, the challenge is there's hardly any weight in these fingers, right? There's hardly any weight. Three more. 2. Good. Hands on the block. We're going to release the right arm. Release the right arm. And we're going to move that block out of the way and we're going to swing it. See if you can make it swing, maybe moving your hips. We're trying to let it swing on its own rather than the doing. Can you feel it dropping? Can you feel yourself wanting to control it? I like to pretend like an elephant. Was that really loud in the microphone? I'm sorry if that was. I mean, come on, you can't help it. Come on, do a little elephant sound there. All right, finding the second block, and let's go to the other side. Let's see about this shoulder. How does it feel? Does it feel like it has more swing, less swing? Just really curious about this bag of bones of yours. Three more deep breaths. And beautiful. That next time you exhale, bring both hands back to the blocks and then sit down here. Keep the knees right over the ankles and then walk those blocks wide here. So it's like a down dog arm, but you're in a squat position and your back is as flat as a board. I've said this before, but this is one of my favorite ways to get into this area here, but it's all energetic. So you're really trying to reach the pinky sides of your fingers to the wall in front of you, really stretching those pinky sides here. Notice what it's doing to the armpits. Is it shining the armpits to the floor? Would it be better for you? Would it be nicer for you to turn those armpits towards the ears? Finding that balance between the heaviness of the pelvis and the heaviness of the head. And ignite that inner area by breath. Find those shoulder blades by deep breaths.
and very dynamic reach, very dynamic. You can drop the chin to the throat here. Shining that armpit to the floor, shining the armpits to the ears. What you need, what you need, what you need. One more deep breath. And gently, gently, gently walk yourself back, grab your thighs, and pull yourself up. And let's do a little bit of review from Monday. So we're going to open our legs nice and wide. Okay. And we're going to turn that left hip open. Toes and knees are facing. Keep the right knee on the second, third toe. And all we're going to do is open it up and hinge. 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 Bring that left hand down. And now we're just going to close it. Just let it swing here. Let it notice if it's not free, if it's very like, oh yeah, I'm letting go. Yeah, yeah. I'm totally relaxed. Sometimes it feels like it wants to do that. Finding that anchor of that left big toe. Let's slowly take it up on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. So what I want you to play with, because we talked about this on Monday where we really focused on the snuggling of that shoulder blade, that it snuggles right into its spot. But you know what we're doing here is we're actually twisting the entire spine. Can you feel that middle spine turning to the sky? Remember, everything is related. So sometimes we get really clipped in these intercostal muscles, these muscles between the ribs, and it creates havoc in other areas. So 2, and then classic triangle pose. Here we go. Finding length here. Some of you are going to stay here and enjoy it. Some of you might even grab that shoulder and find more what we call the weeping triangle, where you're really overly expressing that right rib cage. 3, and 2. All right, now from here, bend your knee, get that knee right over the ankle, pull yourself up and find your level pelvis again. As always, we want to keep that knee tracking. Instead of having this hip jut out, we're going to boop, nice and level. Arms open nice and wide. Again, this is review from Monday. Close that right arm, watch it, feel that shoulder moving, and then open, watch it go. And 4. And 3. The whole time you're trying to touch the ceiling with the crown of your head. So the top of the head is trying to float up. We're trying to unlock the neck stem so that you can be like a helium balloon and you'll just start floating right off your mat. It's really cool. It's so cool. All right, one more. Okay, there we are. Nice big wingspan right from the heart. Everything you feel here, you're just spreading out to everyone around you. Now we're going to turn that left arm up. Okay, we're going to reach. We're going to find lots of extension here in this other side. Reach, reverse warrior, reach, 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 reach. Reach, keep dragging that knee forward, keep reaching that knee towards the second, third toe. And then here comes your big old challenge. How do you keep these ribs open? Start to straighten this leg, keep these ribs open and going into triangle, reaching, reaching, reaching. Keep that underside. If you need a block, you have your block there. Keep it reaching. And we take that other arm up, or we could hold our head and play there, or we could close that arm and find a bind. So a couple of cues here as we hold for 12 breaths, okay, a long hold. We're plugging in our left big toe and the outer left hip is moving back. We are taking our left thigh and we're dragging it to the right foot. We are keeping both side bodies, both sides of the ribs level and balanced. We're not collapsing on one side. We're turning the left rib cage towards the ceiling. We're keeping the forehead slightly higher than the chin. And we're powering up the right leg by putting quite a lot of the weight in this pose into that posture. So you're looking for stability and you're looking for ease. Here's a chance where that pain might be coming in. You might be noticing a lot of tightness, stiffness, the I can't do it's in the mental body. All that might be happening, but you get to pick the thought. So look for the flowers in this pose instead of the weeds. Look for the parts of it that feel freeing, strengthening, empowering. One more deep breath. Now, some of you will come up, bend your knee, come up, and go back into this forward fold that we were doing. Or some of you working a little bit deeper, you might take your left leg back and find a very powerful Ardha Chandrasana posture. And we're bringing in a little bit of joy here. Put the majority of your weight in that right leg. Pretend you're stomping on a wall and you're really fired up. Perhaps even smile here, lining up those bones with support of the muscles. 3 and 2, soft bend, and up we go. Very good. Let's close that hip and finding a transitional pose for you. Maybe it's downward dog. Maybe it's upward dog. Whatever you need. 5 breath rest. Again, notice where you're putting your mind's attention. Come back to the mantra. I want to feel free. Or whatever the mantra was for you. All right, let's walk up and let's take it to the second side. Take it to the limit. All right, here we go. Trikonasana. You know what to do. Knee over toes, right? Maybe even feeling like you're going to pull those feetsies together. And we're going to open up those arms and put them on the hips and notice that pelvic level, okay? And we're going to fall it down and take it up. And I do this mainly so we just remember that this is moving from hips. We're not doing this with our spine. We're keeping it all together. And 4 and 5. Good. Drop that old arm here and we'll take it 4, 3, 2, 1 and down and 4, 3, 2, 1 down. How's your breath? Again, noticing that there's a whole twist through the spine. It's not just the shoulder we're working here. All right, take it all the way up, classic triangle pose, and holding here. Beautiful. Let's start to put a little bend in that knee, slide ourselves up. Again, find the level. Notice that you're not jutting out, but that you're keeping everything nice and level. Those knees are sitting right over the second, third toe. We're going to peel open that heart. With this heart, oh, I just want to touch everybody with my love. I just want to be really open here, the wings of my heart. right? And I'm turning and I'm not jutting my arm out like this. I'm hugging it in like a big old hug, a big mothering hug. Okay, let's watch this left hand now. We're going to close it and open and close. Remember, the whole point of this exercise is to raise the roof, get that ceiling off the house. 3, feel that. 2, beautiful, and release. Right arm up, reverse warrior. Get so much extension here. Oh, notice I'm not turning to the knee. I'm turning towards you and I'm reaching. Oh, reaching, 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 opening up. Are you clenching your jaw? Are you holding a lot in the neck? See if you can soften, even bend the elbow if you need to. One more big breath. Now, how do you keep this length here? Straighten the knee, keep the length, really reach. Reach, 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 reach. Find your block, reach, keep both side bodies level. And then your choice. This is a 12 breath hold. You could hold the head. You could take classic and take it up, or you could bind around. Look for the flowers, not the weeds. Look for the parts that feel empowered or open or strong here instead of the parts that are challenging or tight. Turning on that wisdom body, your own inner teacher. Finding those cues again, finding that right big toe plugging in, outer right hip swiveling behind you, finding the engine in that left foot, finding the slight rotation of the bottom rib, the right rib cage moving to the sky, finding the alignment of the wings of the shoulders, finding the alignment of the forehead being slightly higher than the chin. 5 more deep breaths, fill up. Part of love, and I don't remember where I read this, it was sometime in college. Part of love is what's known as the 4 A's. So attending to yourself, appreciating yourself, accepting yourself, and adoring yourself, right? Appreciating what you can do, attending to what you can do, accepting what you can do, and then adoring yourself. Gosh, you're cute. You're so cute, right? One more. All right, so some of you are going to come up again and you'll do your Upavista Konasana where you tilt over and just hang. Some of you are going to fire it up. You're going to put a big old cheesy grin on your face and you're going to come into a very powerful Ardha Chandrasana. The majority of that weight is in that left foot. Press. So fun, right? So fun. One more deep, deep breath. And when you're ready to come out, come on out. And let's pause here. Start to walk your feet into your mountain. And we'll hold. I still have my block. I'm going to put it between my knees. And we're going to hold here. With our eyes gently closed, feel the outer heels dropping to the floor plus the big toe plugging in. Feel a slight rotation in the inner thighs rolling back. It's almost as if your heels are spreading open. Whatever it is you need to do to find the pelvic floor facing the ground, facing your base. Feeling that the ribs are stacking evenly from one side to the next, as well as the shoulders, as well as the ears. Turning the palms forward or towards you or even back just to notice. And we'll take 5 breaths. And I'm hoping for this, you're going to feel yourself rooting like a tree, rooting down into the ground, feeling support and held. Beautiful. All right, last standing pose, and then we're going to head to the floor. So I want you to notice this. So come into your mountain pose, and we're going to go into a little chair action here. The same integrity in the legs. You're going to drop down, knees stay over the ankles, and then you're going to come up again. And we'll do that again. Notice that sacrolumbar rhythm that's happening there as you slide back and as you come up. Let's go 3 more. You slide back and you come back. 2 more. Now, here's the thing. We're going to do this on the ground too, but I want you to stay here for a second. And you stay here and look at this next pose. So the next pose is bridge. Okay. So right now, we're finding it standing. So see if you can lean against the imaginary floor, pressing both shoulder blades evenly to the ground, the natural curve of your neck, the low, relaxed muscles of the lower back, pressing the tailbone to the floor and extending both sets of ribs out of the waist. 3 and 2, and up we go. Good. Let's try it on the ground. Finding your way down here. Feet on the ground. I broke this pose down last night in the live stream. So if you want to learn more about this posture, you could check out that classic posted last night on YouTube. But today we're just going to notice the basic thing, which is the arms. So feeling your hands down by your sides, I want you to take your arm bones and I want you to press them to the ground and then release. Press the upper arm bones to the ground and then release. Just keep doing that. Now, as you're doing that, are you clenching the jaw? Are you tightening through any kind of muscles through the neck? You're pressing the upper arm bones to the ground. 3 and 2. And now 1. Press those arm bones down. Do you feel how it opens the chest? It just gives you a little bit of a lift, right? Now keep those arm bones very heavy to the ground, but double check you have that natural curve under the neck. Your neck is not collapsing. Walk your feet hip distance apart. Find the outer heels plus the big toe. Keep pressing those arm bones down and then start to lift the hips up, up. Start to take the chest to the chin without collapsing that cervical spine. Bring the chest to the chin. Some of you can grab the mat. Some of you can interlace your fingers underneath you. The chest to the chin. And again, I broke this pose down last night, but some of us, it's okay to let that tailbone drop towards the floor now. Oftentimes we talk about this tailbone reaching to the knees, but again, like when we were doing our chair pose, our natural curves should be, we should keep aware of them. To back bend, it's nice to have that tilt. So what does it feel like if you release the tailbone towards the floor? You still are hugging in, you're still keeping that pubic bone pressing to the ribs, but instead of firing up those glutes and really clenching down there, allow yourself to have this natural curve. We got about 8 more breaths here. See if you can drive your pelvis towards the knees and then drive the chin to the chest.
pelvis towards the knees, and then chin or chest towards the chin without collapsing. Hello, kyphotic curve. Hello, neck stem. Keep getting that chest up there to that chin. Jalandhara Bandha. We've got a natural curve. 2 more big breaths. Stay with us. Stay with us. 1 more. Release the hands and slowly, 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 slowly come down and roll your head side to side. Now from here, push those arm bones down again, really clamp those arm bones down again. And let's bring our left leg up, sit that left ankle on the right thigh. Arm bones are pressing down, head is pressing down. If you can and you want to, keep all that action. Go ahead and bring those legs up. Arm bones are still pressing down. Arm bones are still pressing down, but some of us will be able to interlace our finger behind that right thigh. Arm bones are still pressing down. Some of us can reach up to that ankle. So we're working dynamically, but you're looking also for ease. So you're still pressing those top of the arm bones down as you're maybe rocking side to side. 5 breaths. Keep pressing those arm bones down. Fire up that area. 2. And keep those arm bones pressing down. Release that right leg, release that left, and then take a pause. Relax. Deep breaths. Staying on the same side, okay? A psoas stretch, because again, if we do a lot of sitting and we get really tight in these front muscles, it's going to affect our upper back, our middle back on the back side too. So let's stretch our psoas out a little bit. We're going to take our right leg out straight and we're going to cross it over a little bit towards the opposite side of the mat. Instead of being on its side, it's going to cross over a little bit, and I'm going to engine up my right big toe. Taking my left knee in. Some of us will just hold it here. Some of us can grab the ankle and go ahead and place it on the outside and challenge ourselves to drop. So we've got this beautiful external rotation happening here. This left hip is opening, and we're challenging ourselves to take the front rim of our pelvis and drop it to the mat. If this feels too intense for you, you could always stay here or coming into like a happy baby. Okay, 8 breaths. Engineering through both big toes, finding ease. How sweet are you? Are you appreciating yourself? Giving yourself some attention, accepting whatever limitations you have today, and just remembering you are completely adorable? I hope so. One more deep breath. That's some good stuff. I don't know. I just think it's good stuff. Slide that other knee in there and let's take it all the way out and let's just shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Okay. Should we do the other side? Okay. Find your arm bones. Find the tops of your arm bones. Press it down. Feel the chest lift. Relax. Press those arm bones down. Feel yourself ignite through the chest and then relax. And then here we go again. Press those arm bones down, extend that chest, pressing the outer heels down plus the big toes. Start to lift up, drag your pelvis towards the knees, and then reverse it. Take the chin towards the chest. I'm sorry, chest towards the chin. And holding. Press those arm bones down. Keep that neck lifted, dragging the tailbone towards the knees, and then reverse it. Stick that chest up towards the chin. So you're climbing that arc to the upper body, upper chest. And then once you feel like you've got that level, maybe you'll release the glute muscles. Maybe you'll allow yourself to look like a bridge. I know with some of my private clients, their cats are crawling underneath them and jumping on them. Give your cat a nice big bridge here. Maybe you'll interlace your fingers. Maybe you'll reach that chest to the chin. Keep that neck lifted. 5 more breaths. Maybe you're pressing your heels towards your bottom, but spreading your knees towards the wall in front of you. Notice your glutes. Let them be toned, but not clenching. This is our big boost of energy. You're almost through. 2 more breaths. Stay with us. One more. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come on down. Keep those arm bones down. Really keep them anchored. Keep them anchored, anchored, anchored. And relax. Let those shoulders relax and then fire them up again. Right leg up. Crossing the knee over, ankle on thigh. Keep those arm bones down. Maybe you'll interlace behind that left leg. Keep those arm bones down. Feel the neck is relaxed. The jaw, the face. The ego chatter. And we'll take 8 breaths. Actually, we'll take 5 breaths here and then 8 in the next one. Arm bones pressing down, pretty dynamic. Feel free to rock if you want to. I don't know if you can hear, but my neighbors, the kids next door, outside playing, and it's so cute. Just so carefree. All right, when you're ready, bring your left knee down, and we're going to take our hips over. We're going to extend that left leg now, crossing it over. So instead of being on its own side, it's going to cross, and we're going to hug that knee in. Maybe this is where you are, or you can grab that ankle, or maybe you're doing your happy baby. You decide, and we're going to cross it over, and we're going to put that big toe down, and we're going to find pressing through both big toes and aim that pelvis down. What are you doing in order for this leg to rotate? What can you feel the muscles turning on here? Feel that psoas. I sometimes like to massage it when I do this posture, just digging in there and a lot of tightness. All the way down to the inner groin, that area really gets super tight, short. 4 more breaths. Beautiful. Keep going. Appreciating yourself and the time you've put to this. Paying attention to your breath and to the areas that are opening. Accepting yourself wherever you are. And as always, remembering that you're just totally adorable. It's not always easy to remember, is it? It's easier for me to remember now because I got a dog, and this dog thinks I'm adorable all the time. When you're ready, come on up. Bringing yourself on the ground, bringing both knees up, and finding happy baby. Sugar and I were having a love fest last night. We were just given the best scratches, and she looked at me with like, I love you. Like, I love you so much. And you give the best belly rubs ever. We had a moment last night. I highly recommend rescuing a dog. It's really, really cool. All right, start to find happy baby. Moving in any way that feels like you're getting in there, you know. And those kitty loves do the same thing. Well, not the same thing, much different than the puppy love, but I like the kitties too. Although you're probably thinking they're more adorable than they're thinking you're adorable. Just finding another couple of breaths, shaking it out. And just start to slowly move your way to your stillness. Finding your way there now. So when we find our way to our Shavasana today, perhaps you'll prop your legs up. Perhaps you'll get a lot of blankets on if you're chilly. Perhaps you'll take it on your belly. Just finding a Shavasana that's really, really snuggly today. Really, really nurturing. And we're going to end our class with a breathing technique that's called Viloma. It means 3-part. And it's really nice to use at nighttime if you're struggling with sleep at all, or just to quiet your mind during the day. And it's also a great way to practice breathing deeply. So if it doesn't serve you, or if it causes you anxiety in any way, then just skip it and just do whatever breathing technique you want. Maybe inhale 4, exhale 6. That's really calming as well. But we'll do 3 rounds of Viloma. Okay. So let's think of our breathing. I mean, our areas as the collarbones, the ribs, and then the lower belly. So that's our 3 parts: the collarbones, the ribs, and then the lower belly. Okay. So finding your Shavasana now. Get all the things you need. Get cozy. Remember, meditation is defined as a one-pointed focus. So when we do breathing techniques, we're meditating. And remember, when we're meditating, we're not getting caught with anxiety. We're not getting caught with turmoil. So it's a nice way to sort of align yourself with that mental body. All right, here we go. Empty all your breath for the count of 9. Ready? Just wherever you are, exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Push all the air out. 2, 1. Breathe just into your collarbones. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Now hold. Breathe into your ribs. 4, 5, 6. Hold it. Breathe into your lower belly. 7, 8, 9. You're filled up. Hold it, and then let it go. 9, 8, all the way out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just breathe normally. So that's called Viloma 1. Let's do that once more. Okay. Exhale out. Exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in just to your collarbones. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Relax. Into the ribs. 4, 5, 6. Hold. Steady. Into the lower belly. 7, 8, 9. Hold your breath. Soak in all the good parts, and then let the rest go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Normal breaths. Again, if holding for 9 is too intense, you can always back it up to 6,
or go into that other Visamritti pattern. So that's Viloma 1. We did it twice. I want to teach you Viloma 2, and we'll just do it one time, okay? So we paused on our inhales that time. Now we're going to pause on our exhales, okay? All right. Exhale out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Push it out. 3, 2, 1. Quick inhale. 1, 2. Keep breathing. 3, 4, 5. Keep breathing. 7, 8, 9. Hold your breath. And then just a little bit. Exhale. 9, 8, 7. Hold. Exhale again. 6, 5, 4. Hold it. Hold it. And 3, 2. Empty, empty, empty. Normal breaths. So that is really, that exhale holding is a nice way to sort of prepare yourself to relax, or maybe holding that inhale so you can remind yourself to take deeper breaths, whichever one is soothing to you. Do a couple more times for yourself and then let yourself have some Shavasana, okay? Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope it's a benefit to you. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you next time. Deep, deep bows to you all. And namaste.